material success and spiritual focus are not mutually exclusive at all. Sometimes people think that in order to be spiritual, it means you have to renounce all of the actual possessions. You have to become a complete renunciant. You can't have a nice house. You can't have a nice car. You can't have nice things. And that's not true at all. It's not the things that block you from a spiritual path. There's no house in the world that blocks us from being able to be spiritually awakened, enlightened, connected. The dilemma is where our mind is focused. So success comes. To some people, it comes through a certain job they have, a certain skill they have. To some people, it comes in an inheritance. Other people win the lottery. I mean, money and physical things come in so many different ways. But they're not the actual problem. The problem is the mental attachment to having more. So having a beautiful car, not a problem. As long as, if tomorrow you don't have a beautiful car, you're still anchored and grounded spiritually. The problem is actually in the mind. If I am focused on, I need to have a car. I need to have a nice car. This guy has a nicer car than I do. Why do I only have a Honda? This guy's got a Mercedes. That's not fair. I want the Mercedes. And of course, tragically, why do we usually want the Mercedes? It's not so much that it's a better drive. It's to show people. I want the Mercedes so that this guy knows I've got the Mercedes. I want the Mercedes so that everybody understands, oh, she's such a success. I want the big house, not because I actually need 9 bedrooms when there's 3 people in the house. But I want the big house, taki everyone who comes will say, wow, kya bade garde hai, amazing. Kahan pahunch gaye. And that everybody will respect me, be envious of me, think that I am some very great person. So that's the dilemma. It's not the house, it's not the car. It's the mind's attachment to those things that makes us stuck. And it's especially what the mind thinks we're going to get from it. So if I think from this big house, from this big car, from these diamonds, from this beautiful new sari or new pair of fancy shoes, I'm going to feel happy. That's the problem. That's what keeps us from being spiritually awakened or connected. The actual shoes, not an issue. It's the mind that is focused on, oh God, I wish I could have those expensive shoes. Then everybody would like me. Then I would be really popular. So you can be materially successful. And you can be deeply spiritually focused, grounded, aware, awake. Not a problem. As long as your mind is focused and grounded spiritually. For me, the best way of understanding this is Lanka was a city made of gold, right? And who was the head of Lanka? So Lanka was what type of a city was Lanka? With Ravan at the head, is Lanka a place you'd want to live? Were they selling expensive real estate in Lanka? when Ravan was in charge? No, right? And now, even now, when we think about Lanka, talk about Lanka, it's sort of synonymous with kind of living in hell, right? I mean, the city was made of gold, but when you're run by a demon, nobody would want to live there. Well, think about Dwarka. What was Dwarka made of? Well, Krishna was the head. Krishna was the head. What was the city made of? It was also made of gold. Dwarka was also made of gold. But the head, as you said, was Krishna. So is Dwarka a city we'd like to live in? Right? Dwarka's like a special kind of heaven. Living under Lord Krishna. So it's not the gold. The gold isn't the problem. Lanka was made of gold, Dwarka was made of gold. The problem was the difference between heaven and hell, simply who was running the show. Ravan was running the show, it's Lanka, nobody wants to be there. Krishna's running the show, it's heaven, everybody wants to be there. So that's the issue with the material success, is have the prosperity, no problem. But make sure that who's running your show is Krishna, meaning the divinity, rather than Ravan, meaning the embodiment of greed and ego, lust, that demonic nature. So stay grounded in the divinity, the Krishna in you. And then whether your city is made of gold or your city is made of wood, it's not going to matter. Either way, it's going to be heaven, because you're being run by that divine presence.